Hello everybody and hello and welcome to AVGR podcast. We have just wrapped the first day of the last workshop number 6 of this accelerator program. We started in 2024 in Tampere with our first workshop and now we are here. It has been such a beautiful journey, and I think that our reflections that we just did in the afternoon made it very clear. But because there might be someone who haven't heard of AVGR or don't know your background, let's start with introductions. So let's start with you, Katri. Who are you? What kind of company you represent?
My name is Katri Aksola and I represent a company called Helsinki Casting and Blockbusters Gang. This is since a merger that happened 2 years ago. So now we deliver people in front of the camera and behind the camera. So casting and crew.
Wonderful. And from Finland, obviously, because Helsinki.
Yeah. Right.
My name is Marta. I'm from Riga, from Latvia. I'm representing my company Ausma Media. We are like producers who are producing kids content mainly for television, also for VOD platforms, but also we do a lot of things. We also do live concerts for kids in Latvia and Estonia also, and also we are doing merchandise and many things. We have also a physical shop in Riga.
Oh, wow. We will circle back to that. Okay, great.
Anders Brandt. I represent Nova Film North in Sweden, south of Sweden. And we mainly make commercials, corporate movies, and is leaning into feature films, documentaries, and television series.
Great. And I'm Fanny Heinonen, Program Director of Film Tampere Film Commission, and also the project manager of the work package number 1, which is the accelerator program. All right, so can you take us back to the starting point? Where was the company before AVGR project, and what were the main goals, uncertainties, and barriers ahead? But let's start with the goals, and I'd like to start with you, Marta. What were the goals when you started?
Actually, I don't remember the goals when we started the AVGR program, but I think our goals was to make a bit more programs for television, to be a bigger company. But nowadays, I will say that we have more clarified our goals during this program. We decided that we don't need any investors, for example. It's not our case. So yeah, there was many cases where we can understand what is actually our goals now in 2026.
Yeah,
comparing
great.
to this time.
Yeah, that's a good insight, because we have during this 5.5 workshops we have covered things like how to pitch to investors, how to build your brand strategy, how to have a clear understanding of your business model, how to lead a sustainable businesses. So all those different kind of teams, and the point has always been that not every single team is suitable or something that gives the right answer that this is the way that some company needs to follow, but rather thinking about the options. Anders, how about you? What were the goals with Nova Films when you started, just before the first AVGR workshop?
I agree with Martha. It's almost difficult to remember. But our goal then was to continue operations like we've done. I mean, I've been running my own business since 2001. And that was mainly corporate films and commercials. And, well, the basic plan was to continue with that. But so much changed in the market we had from that time after the pandemic, because, I mean, everybody has noticed this. But the corporate jobs that we did I feel they're declining, actually. And it's not the lucrative market that we had for about 20 years. And that made us want to shift the focus, because basically we always wanted to move towards drama anyway. And I think the AV Growth program has made a huge difference in helping us in this transformation, because, I mean, we've met all of you wonderful people, and I mean, we've made friends for life here. And there are people I can call anytime and ask for help and look into cooperations across the borders. And that was something we didn't have. We were stuck in our little bubble. We know people, you know, in the south of Sweden. We know almost everybody. But that's not the same thing. This is, when you can start working internationally, that's a huge difference.
Exactly, yeah. Let's also circle back to the international part, but before that, Katri, how about Helsinki Casting X Blockbuster Gang? What were the goals when you started in this accelerator program?
So when we started almost 2 years ago in this program, we had just merged these companies, and so we were in the state of kind of figuring out the vision, what we are going to do. Many things that have been our topics in the program, like the brand strategy, the pitching to investors, are something that we are kind of now just ready to launch. Like we are pitching for investors tomorrow, and we are rebranding our 2 brands into one. I think it's gonna launch on end of August. We just had to postpone it a bit after the summer, but anyway, it's gonna happen pretty soon.
Yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed that everything goes smoothly. Very nice. So let's talk about turning points, and now I want to get back to you, Martha, because you mentioned that you even have a physical shop right now, and you also mentioned that AV Growth has helped you clarify your business and strategy and your path forward. Could you tell more about that, let's say, turning point, or when you became aware of that maybe something has to be done differently?
I think we focused more on the business actually during those AV Growth program lessons or our meetings. I think we do more like business. We are thinking about business a bit more, and also doing a lot of. We are thinking about which is cost effective, which is not. We are not only thinking about our creativity and how to be more creative, but we are more focusing how can we grow and how can we go also abroad with our content, not staying only in Baltics, but maybe even bigger.
Expanding. Yeah, expanding.
Yeah.
Is there any specific markets outside of Latvia that you would like to name?
No, we collaborate with Katri, and we are going to have maybe a program also in Finland.
Oh my, wow, we got that on tape.
Yep, we did some casting already. Yep.
A collaboration happened during AV Growth. Wow. Anders, you also mentioned about the expansion and the value of networks.
Yeah.
Let's say that has been a turning point for you to.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So could you elaborate on that? How has it changed your business or point of view?
It has changed our thinking, because as I mentioned, we were swimming in our own little fishbowl from the beginning, and wanted more, wanted to do more, wanted to make bigger productions, tell the stories we'd like to tell. And we didn't have a plan. And we didn't know, who to call. Who would like to work with us? I don't know. We didn't know. And the discussions we've had in this group were more or less in the same position, all of us. And just, talking together about these kind of problems, and, we're facing this, so do we. I recognize that, and and somebody has, oh, we did this, and the collaboration helps a lot. It's the real meetings with real people. That is what makes the difference. And when you meet people from different places, but with the same goals and the same dreams and so on, you start to think together. And I mean, nobody makes film alone. That's an old truth. And we're not Paramount Pictures, any of us. But together, I've always felt that the collaboration between all of us, that's where you gain momentum. That's when you become a powerhouse. That's when you can make things happen. And I mean, we help each other with each other's projects. I don't see it as competition at all.
No, it was beautiful, beautifully said. So a little bit about growth itself, like technically. How does your current business model support growth? And I know it's demanding market, as you said.
Yep.
You have managed to pivot even on the disrupted market. You've been in the middle of merge and then kind of figuring out your identity all over again. So very different situations, but still sharing the same market. If you cannot address right now what in your current business model supports growth, I would like to ask you to mention one thing in your current business model that is very, very functioning and viable. So if we have that point of view, let's start with Katri. What would you?
Yeah. That's easy for me actually, because we have started doing some recurring services for Wiley is our biggest client at the moment. So we are delivering constantly 3 different roles. That is the makeup artists, the kind of vieraskoordinaattori, I don't know how
Coordinator, guest coordinator.
Guest coordinator and a prompter prompter user for the news broadcasts.
Innovation.
Yeah, exactly. So this is something that we can try to kind of multiply into different kind of clients who would need steady but also changing flow of people management. So we have a 24/7 hotline if they have any problems, and we plan all their shifts and take care of all the contracts and payments and whatever. So this is something that it would be easy to multiply in different places. So we are actually looking at customers outside of the audiovisual industry, but still try to stay in the creative industry somehow, because that's kind of in our DNA.
Sounds very, very smart, innovative. And if I recall, you also had new business model as one of your KPIs in this program, because we have approximately 6 different business KPIs that all of the participants has selected and decided to follow, and you had that as one of yours. Martha, and with Ausma, about the business model. So what in your current business model supports growth? Because you definitely have grown.
I think we're growing like every day, but maybe the new thing what we are doing now is we're having our own app, which is like a gaming and also educational app for preschool kids. And now it's in Latvian language, but still there is possibility to translate to other and to sell to other countries also. Yeah. I think, but it's totally for us it's something very new, and we just trying to understand what is the business model with the app and how it works actually.
Yeah. So you're pretty much now developing that and studying how it's going, but it's endeavor, new business model there. Yeah, very interesting. How about Anders? You said that Nova Films was founded in 2001, right?
No, it was founded in 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
My former company was founded in 2001,
Yeah, that was-
we're moving away from that business model more and more. Partly because we prefer working with drama. But the other thing is, I mean, corporate films, they pay the bills. So it's still the working part of Nova Film, even though I feel there's a decline in it. It still supports the business. I really don't see the big growth potential in that area.
Corporate.
In corporate,
B2B, yeah.
no. Because I think most corporations, they learn to do a lot for themselves during the pandemic, and I think many has continued doing that, and they are living according to it's good enough for them. I mean, we hate that expression, but it's good enough for them. And but there are still customers that really value that we can keep a top-notch production. But we're working on our growth part in feature and television, and we have a production ongoing to SVT, which is a Swedish state television, that they want to broadcast this autumn, and that is it's fantastic to have. We already put in a lot of work in it, and it's fantastic to actually have. It becomes a product. It becomes something, and it's broadcasted on television, and that's good for us.
Great. Before we wrap up, I'd like to ask all of you your best lessons. Of course, you shared your learnings throughout here, but if there's anything specifically that you've learned during AV Crowd, maybe with the help of AV Crowd, even it might be hard sometimes to differentiate actually where the learning came from. But is there anything, or any session, or any trainer, or mentor conversation? Because these participants also have mentors specifically designed to them, executive leaders in the industry. If there's any.
I have definitely.
Yeah, but please share, and then we can continue with ladies.
Yeah, I mean, we had Marco Kulmala as our mentor, and he is a phenomenal guy. And he's really trying to teach us the art of pitching. The art of pitching is so important, and I mean, if that's the only takeaway from this, it's fantastic. It's not the only takeaway, but if it would have been, it would have been enough, because that is so important and so essential.
Yeah. So exactly, essential in the business of stories.
Yeah.
How about Marta?
Yeah, I'm very thankful to our mentor Marika from GATSI. She's doing this Mamin Volley. Yeah, that's her project, and she even visited us in Riga. We have a very nice time together in Riga, and now we are also cooperating with our project with GATSI.
Wow.
So we are very happy about our mentor. So thank you very much.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marika Makarov, an executive producer from Finland. Yeah, wonderful to hear.
Cool.
How about Katri? Any lessons you would like to?
Like so many, but maybe I tell this one. Our mentor Martina Eriksdotter. I mean, this is very basic lesson, but she told us like with your co-owners of your company, like sit down and have a really honest conversation of where you want the company to go. What do you want as a person, not as a owner, but like where do you want? What do you want? And like basically everyone knows this, but like to really like be brutally honest about it is something else. Yeah.
Very, very good. I mean, there's this saying that there is knowing and knowing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's knowing and knowing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and very often they are the most simple things. Usually the most simple things are the best learnings when it comes to growth.
And being challenged, like you like to do.
Yeah, today we challenged.
It forces you to think about specific things because, I mean, we all procrastinate from time to time, but when you end up in a situation where this is what you're supposed to think about,
Exactly.
and you have to do it, and that's when you actually find out, and you can be brutally honest, and that's so important.
Great. I think this conversation was very insightful and honest, and very much up to date. And I hope that it helped anybody on the line watching this delighted. So I want to thank Anders. I want to thank Marta.
Thank
and
you.
I want to thank Katri for this good conversation. And of course, thanks to my project partners, Tamken, Yrkesnämnder for Filma TV. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.